Well, it obviously has got to take something pretty big to do something this big, right? Shut down pretty much every American embassy in the Middle East. Now, we know it involves Al-Qaeda and something pretty big by Al-Qaeda, but what, where, and when? To Lisa Daftari and Chuck Nash on the chatter that Pat and I were talking about. It sounds apparently a lot like the chatter behind this back then. Of course, I'm talking about 9/11. Chuck Nash, to you first. Is it similar? And if it is, where's it coming from?
I think we've established patterns in the intelligence community of looking for who talks to whom. And it may not be that you understand exactly what they're saying, but when two people start talking, you start to connect the dots. And they're looking at people talking to people, and it's probably both volume and who is talking to whom. That is really the issue right now. I don't know that they're listening in on the calls and understand what's being said. They just know a lot of people are talking to bad people. They know something is up. Now, Lisa, we could guess till the cows come home at just how they're getting this through the NSA or any of these other things. But I mean, thinks if they're comparing it to pre-9/11 chatter, when this technology, or there was apparently this surveillance, I think, didn't exist, it might be something, the same conventional means we did then. But it obviously bespeaks of an Al-Qaeda that is back. What do you suspect?
Not only are they back, they've been around this whole entire time. We're back. We're the ones who are waking up to the threat again. We've been told by this administration that the war on terror is over. Osama bin Laden was killed, and he was killed. But the bottom line is you can try to kill Al-Qaeda or any other groups like this vertically, but they are growing horizontally while we're sleeping. And what they're doing is, let's, again, connect the dots here. They're growing on the ground. They're growing on the internet. They're growing on social media groups. They have a magazine. Al-Qaeda has a magazine called Inspire that we learned about through the Boston bombers, learning how to make homemade bombs. They're encouraging lone wolf type attacks, while the core group, or the old school group, is still continuing to plan these bombs, while the new school, or the younger followers, are now trying to recruit other followers.
Well, there are apparently a lot of them, Lisa, right? Now, Chuck Nash, one of the things we discovered in the last, a few weeks, we had these prison breaks. We have hundreds of Al-Qaeda types in, and it looks like locusts throughout the region. And they're angry, they're jazzed, they want to do something. And that might have been the precipitant, but what do you think?
Well, isn't it really curious that Osama bin Laden's stated goals were to overthrow what he called the corrupt regimes in the region, expel the infidels from the Holy Lands, in other words, get the Western people out, and then reestablish a caliphate. If you take a look at the map, the graphic that you've been showing on Fox all day of where the countries are where we've closed down the embassies, his third jihad is in motion. And it started with the Arab Spring, not with the revolt that he thought he could do with 9/11. But back to Lisa's point, what she's really saying here, and I agree with 100%, is this is about showing how vulnerable America is around the world, and especially in Muslim lands, to get adherents to join into the cause, to get this groundswell behind Al-Qaeda. These are very dangerous times.
Well, when you shut down all your embassies, in a way, they have got the edge on you. Folks, thank you very much.